Domestic abuse happens every day, next door, down the street, another state away, all across the country.
Yeah, but what makes this even more dangerous is when guns are involved. People worried about domestic abuse came to Annapolis, trying to make sure anyone convicted of abuse cannot have access to firearms. ABC's Don Harrison explains why it may not be an easy bill to get passed.
For your perseverance.
A group of people braved the fog and rain this morning to speak out against domestic violence.
I stand with the moms.
Speaker Michael Bush was at the rally and vowed to do what he can to get the bill passed out of the House. This is what the face of domestic abuse looks like: young, old, black, white, male, and female. A crime that has no prejudice. It affects all walks of life.
Until we are doing all we can to keep survivors safe.
Moms Demand Action sponsored the rally to speak to what they call a loophole in Maryland's domestic violence laws. The law states now that if you are convicted of a violent domestic assault, you cannot purchase a firearm, but the law does not address the guns they already own.
A convicted abuser can go home from court and use the guns that they already have to inflict trauma upon their former partners and other relatives.
A loophole they say they want to close.
My ex-husband would wake me up in the middle of the night playing Russian roulette. Spin, click. I would hear a lot of that in the morning. But
Angela Wright was here with her daughter Anna. Both of them are domestic abuse survivors. Wright lives in Annapolis now, but was a police officer in South Carolina when her husband became abusive.
They were shotguns and handguns. He had an arsenal of guns.
Finally, Wright took all the guns away except for one shotgun. She hid that one in the closet.
I heard the shotgun click when he was loading it. And I hung up, I called 911 to my own police department, and by the time they arrived, the shotgun was to my forehead, and I was able to, I knew he was going to kill me, and they saved my life, pretty much.
Made it an unworkable bill.
Senator Mike Huff says he agrees with the bill, but determining who is responsible for confiscating all the weapons could be difficult.
And then the state's attorneys basically didn't have the resources to be in charge of this, and it's not really their job. So the problem with this bill has been the logistics of it, figuring out how to make it work.
I don't want to see not one Maryland family go through the abuse, the terrorization that lasts an entire lifetime.
Advocates have been pushing for this bill for the last 3 years here in Annapolis. Some people feel that with Speaker Michael Bush on board, it might have a better chance this year. In Annapolis, Don Harrison, ABC 2 News.